25-yard line. First down. Territory, first down. That'll be a Saints first down. Number 8, Noah Love on the tackle. Emery DePona. First down. Quarterback keeper. Stuff in the backfield by number 60. Wayne Lucio.
Hello and welcome into Game On Sports coverage of Parish Panthers football. Panthers on the road against Fort Worth All Saints, and the Saints are marching early on to start off. This is play number 7. They start off on their own 25-yard line. Hamp Fay, the quarterback, number 7 for this Saints team, and here comes a blitz from that stout Panthers defense. Gets knocked out. Looks like it's going to be a third down.
Jacob Matlock that time coming out from the backfield. A good little swing play and getting the first, or near the first down, make it fourth now. But a good job. This Saints offense right now is absolutely rolling, but this will be a tough test against this Parish defense.
He's Jackson Donovan. I'm Nick Laupius here live. Game On Sports Productions. Both these teams 2-0 coming into this Week 3 matchup. They will be going for it on fourth down, maybe 4th and 3. Hamp Fay set up in the shotgun. Has Jacob Matlock, junior running back, number 22, next to him. Takes the snap, looks, doesn't have anyone open. Will take the open lane instead. Will get knocked out at around the 15-yard line for a first down.
A very quick decision that time for Fay. Might have been able to find a receiver on a quick slant on the far side. Nonetheless, decides to keep it, and it will be in the red zone now.
Well, Jackson, we'll see how this defense tightens up here in the red zone. A lot of playmakers, a lot of big guys on this Panthers defense. Jose Munoz already with a tackle for loss a few plays ago, right before we were able to go live. 9:39 to go in quarter number 1, just underway. No score, first possession of the ball game, and this is a run right up the middle, a gain of maybe 1. Love, the senior, 6'1", 205 quarterback right there, got the handoff, got about 1.
I'm interested to see how this Panthers defense holds up. They only had one defensive stand in the red zone last week, able to force a turnover on downs. This will be the first time they're really under pressure by a good team this season.
11th play of the drive, started on their own 25-yard line. Fay putting up impressive numbers throughout the first 2 games of the season. There's a play-action pass looking for the end zone, has a man in the corner, and it's just out of the reach. That time, Peyton Kramer, the intended receiver, brings up 3rd down.
Tight coverage that time on the outside. Give it to the senior. Luke Bridges doing a good job shutting down the outside post route. Goes incomplete. Trying to thread the needle that time was Fay.
So 3rd down, and about 8. Ball on the 13-yard line. Fay takes the snap, looks, has some pressure, has a man open on a slant and broken up nicely. Will bring up 4th down.
Again, Luke Bridges coming in great coverage right before the ball was snapped, backing off into zone coverage and right at the goal line, able to dive and get a hand on it. A great heads-up play that time, forcing yet another 4th down here early in this game. Good defensive stand that time by Parish.
So that'll bring in Andrew Lynn, sophomore kicker for Fort Worth. About a 33-yard attempt. Kick is up. It looks like he was able just to squeeze it in to that right upright, make it 3-0 All Saints on a 13-play drive. Start at their own 25 as they are up 3-0. And now we'll see this Panthers offense and Preston Stone get their first looks at it tonight.
Preston Stone having an impressive season thus far, only 2 weeks in. Kind of struggled a little bit against Trinity Christian, but last week out in Tyler was an absolutely dominating performance. 4 touchdowns in the first half. Could have had 5, but forced the defense forced a turnover late in the first half. And then, of course, first possession of the second half takes them fully down the field, able to have another touchdown, that time actually on the ground. Karin Lynch picking that one up. But this offense for Parish has been absolutely unstoppable in the first 2 weeks, definitely garnering that number 1 team in the state ranking by multiple different outlets for TAPS.
Yeah, believe 515 passing yards for Preston Stone throughout the first 2 games. Karin Lynch, big number 28, running back, 16 carries, 177 yards. We'll get a look at him here very shortly. Down 3-0, but you're exactly right. Well deserving of that number 1 ranking by Dave Campbell's in the TAPS rankings coming into week number 3.
I've been very impressed by the versatility of this offense. Of course, the number 1 storyline is Preston Stone. But when you look back at these past 2 games, 131 yards rushing on 21 carries for the team against Trinity Christian, and then 13 carries for 197 yards. This team is very well-rounded and looking good for a deep run this season.
Fielded around the 23. Culp trying to break it to the outside. Has some blockers. Able to get to that near sideline. Breaks 1 tackle down to the 40 before getting run out at the 37-yard line. An impressive return by number 19 to give the Panthers good starting field position.
Might have even been able to pick up a little bit more, but trying to get turned around was a blocker for the Panthers at the time. End up tripping on his own feet, but nonetheless a great run on the return by Culp. And it will be a very short field now for this very capable offense by the Panthers.
So Preston Stone and company walking out onto the field, starting at the 38-yard line of the Saints, down 3-0. 8:35 to go in quarter number 1.
And giving one of the rare tight end packages for this team. But look at Karin Lynch in the backfield. This workhorse is going to get the first look to start this game.
Jai Moore in motion. It's a quick pass right to about the 33-yard line.
Looks like a little bit of a scuffle on defense and offensive lineman that time. Look at Joe Mahari, I apologize, not giving up on the play. But a good job that time, a good quick first down, picking up about half the yardage they needed. Give it 2nd and about 5.
We do apologize for having to be on the sideline camera there for a little bit. Some technical difficulties. We've got some tight quarters in this press box this evening out here in Fort Worth, but we are getting on it. We are good to go, I believe, for the remainder of the game. That pass right there was to Evan Green, a senior, number 1 in white tonight. A 2nd down, and flags will stop the play before it gets started.
So it was a little bit of an issue last week for Parish. Had some uncalled for penalties, and this one will be another called against them.
So it'll be 2nd down. Looks like that was on number 50. Alejandro Garcia was the one who raised his hand for the penalty. So 2nd down, back to the original line of scrimmage. Actually, 2nd down and 9. After the 6-yard catch by Evan Green. Stone alone in the backfield. Has some time. Instead will step up and has a little bit of room on the outside, getting close to the 30 before getting knocked out right around the 31-yard line to bring up 3rd down.
Not a great amount of pressure being brought that time by the Saints, but still I'd give it a good decision for Preston Stone, not wanting to force anything early in this game. Take the yardage where you could get it. Now it's a manageable 3rd and about 4. Let's see what he can do now trying to pick up the 1st down.
Make some noise.
So 3rd down and 4, down 3-0. 7:45 to go in quarter number 1. It's going to be a handoff, try to go up the middle, and maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's it, 4th down.
It was Christian Benson that time trying to go with the middle, going absolutely nowhere. And on this short field, we've seen the kicker in warm-ups able to hit some from this distance, but this early in the game, with it still just being 3-0, I'm not really going to push hard on disagreeing on this decision. I'm going to like them going for the 4th down.
So 4th down, Preston Stone alone in the backfield. He's got trips over to his left.
Interesting to see press coverage on both outside receivers.
Amari Hayes checks in for the first time today. Stone looking for someone, has a little bit of time. Now he's having to scramble, find someone, and it's intercepted and brought back, and here we go. This is Cameron Lane, a senior linebacker, is going to go all the way back. It's a pick 6 for Fort Worth All Saints.
Trying to maybe do a little bit too much that time, but I'm going to give it to just a great jump by Cameron Lane. Preston Stone forced to roll out to his right, but a good job that time jumping front of the coverage.
There's a flag on the play. Right around the Panthers' 20-yard line.
Appears to be there were 2 flags thrown. One of them has been picked up. Might have been for the same instance, but the refs are going to talk about it.
Waiting on the call from our referee.
And that one, too, he was throwing against the grain. He was rolling out to the near sideline, tried to throw back across his body, and then didn't see Cameron Lane right there, was able to pick it off. Had some blockers. Again, we'll see what the penalty is.
I think they're going to call it against the Saints. It appears it's going to be from after the interception, so nonetheless they'll get the ball, but definitely looks like they're going to take the touchdown off the board.
So the second interception for Preston Stone in this early 2019 campaign.
Okay. All right, so I've got Jeff's camera back up and going. Yeah. I had to.
And that is the Saints touchdown.
And indeed it will be the touchdown. Didn't get an explanation on what the flag was, but the PA just announcing the touchdown. So it is a pick 6 for number 3, Cameron Lane. 9-0 in favor of the Saints, and the extra point coming up here from Andrew Lynn.
I will say this, if you're going to be playing the number 1 team in the state, one thing you need to do is set the tempo yourself. Doing a great job this time by Fort Worth All Saints, coming out and punching the Panthers in the mouth. Now it's time to see what this young team can do. I say young, they have a lot of seniors on the roster, but losing their top 3 wide receivers last year, Preston Stone still just a junior, even though he does have all the accolades. I would still consider this a young team, and we'll need to see how they rebound from this early deficit.
This time the kick is right down the middle, 10-0 for Fort Worth, and I think the coaching staff, for especially on this offensive side, well, there's no need to panic. 10-0 early on, but like you said, there's a lot of talent and a lot of experience on this team. You talk about Preston Stone just being a junior. You would assume he was playing like a senior last year, just a sophomore, and coming back here for his junior year. Well, he's got a lot of experience, and it's going to be fun to watch throughout the game. He's got a lot of weapons on receivers, tight ends, and then you have Corin Lynch and Kristen Benson as well you can hand it off to.
I have to give a lot of props to head coach Daniel Novikov. Done a good job last season. We talked about young team this year. Even last year was, I'm not going to call it worse, but going all the way to the state semifinals, of course losing to the eventual state champions. But coming into this year, losing a lot on both sides of the ball. Have the number 1 ranking earlier in the season, play the number 3 team in the state for TAPS in Trinity Christian, winning a close one in overtime, and then of course last week the number 13 team in TAPS and absolutely manhandling them 49-0. So I give them a lot of props coming into this one. Yes, they're down early, but I have a lot of faith on this coaching staff to be able to get them out of this hole and take control. I'm going to give it before the half even ends.
Yeah, plenty of time, only about 6 minutes, not even 6 minutes to gone by, 6:42 on the clock in the first quarter. And this is a Parish team that, well, definitely last year had the ability to strike quick, and throughout the first 2 games of this year have showed that they can strike pretty quickly on the offensive side, and they haven't really lost a whole lot of that speed and efficiency on the offensive side, so it'll be interesting to see coming back out for their second possession. They only had 4 plays on their first possession compared to Fort Worth, who were able to run 13 on their first opening drive of the game, and had another penalty, I believe. The referee just made a gesture over to the home sideline. But they will have it teed off at the 40-yard line.
I will say with this team, when you do have Preston Stone, but when you have players like Christian Benson and Corin Lynch having a 52-yard touchdown run last week, scoring early is definitely not a weakness for this team. We'll see how well they react coming down, already down 10-0.
So Lynn back to kick. Caleb Culp and Christian Benson are back deep. Instead, they will kick it toward the sideline. They're going to let it get out of bounds, and it will be good field position again for the Panthers on their second drive as Preston Stone comes out looking to forget that interception.
We've seen the Panthers last week. First kick of the game, and Tyler went out of bounds, and Parish made him pay for it, taking it the 48 yards that they needed after getting great field possession in for a score. That was actually the first score of the game. This being a little bit different of a situation now, as they are trailing, but nonetheless, they know how to work on a short field. This is their second time already, as they'll start this one at their own 40-yard line.
So first down and 10, Stone back out there. Culp in motion, or that was Jai Moore, beg your pardon. They're going to hand it off onto that right side, maybe got a yard.
Good job just running between the tackles that time, as that one was Corin Lynch, the senior, putting in work last week back here in this one as the starting running back again.
So that one a gain of 5 up to the 45-yard line. And hand it off again, in trouble, able to sidestep a few, takes a big hit, and able to fall forward back to the 45, so not losing any yards, somehow making something out of nothing. And brings up 3rd and 5. Good running by number 28.
We're going to call about 4 missed tackles that time by the Saints. And when you've got a player like Carl Lynch, who is really good at getting low to the ground on his runs, arm tackles are not going to work against him.
177 yards coming into tonight's contest, 16 carries for number 28. Senior running back. Almost like a bowling ball when he gets some momentum going. Not sure many defensive backs would like to see number 28 running at them, and Preston Stone's going to have to call a timeout. Looked up and saw 2 seconds left on the play clock.
One of the few situations of miscommunication between Coach Novikov and Stone here. But the student section for Fort Worth All Saints is loving it right now, getting the flags waving here early in this one, as we are about 6.5 minutes into this one, and a bit of a surprise result right now as Parish finds themselves down in this one 10 points.
A little bit of a sluggish start for the Panthers, but really throughout all of Texas high school football, especially last week, we saw some surprising scores throughout the DFW area. But, of course, Parish taking care of business last week. But one notable thing, Highland Park losing at home to a Texas school for the first time since 1999.
It's that Highland Park squad is absolutely ridiculous with Chandler Morris in the backfield. Of course, they proved that against Rockwall earlier this year, but that Lone Star defense is no joke. We talk about with Duncanville having one of the most dominant defenses in the state of Texas. The Lone Star is right up there with them.
That being one of just a few of the crazy games that we had last week. Of course, Panthers taking care of business. You and Van Malone on the call last week out there in Tyler. 3rd down and 5. Stone is being pressured, is just going to check it down. And we'll bring up 4th down. So early on, a lot of pressure from this front 7 of the Saints team.
Not sure this offensive line has had to fight this much. Again, I know we're only 3 weeks in, but they have got a fight on their hands. This defensive line for All Saints is not going quietly. Trying to be in the spoilers role here in this one. Some late substitutions are coming in for Parish on the punt protection team.
So a 3 and out for the Panthers. Having trouble with the snap, not able to get it off, got hit hard. The punt was blocked and scooped up, and no one's going to stop him. It's a touchdown, Fort Worth Saints. Elijah Pulsari, a junior defensive end, with the scoop and score.
Just a great job that time coming off the edge. Protection not picking him up. Not sure if there's a miscommunication or what, but the punter muffing the catch, and at that point might have just wanted to drop to the ground. But a great job that time by the punt block, able to pick it up, scoop it in, and 16-0. Parish is losing this one. 5 minutes remaining here in the first.
I'm not sure a whole lot of people saw this kind of start. And it's the about to be 14 points off of turnovers. Yeah, defense for the Panthers haven't had to be on the field a whole lot. It's been the pick 6 and then the blocked punt return for a touchdown. 17-0, 5:07 to go in quarter number 1. And right now, Preston Stone is just not getting any time back there.
He is not, and the running game is not supplementing him at all. They've tried to go early to Karin Lynch and Christian Benson, but have struggled at the backfield. I'm going to give that as a testament to the defensive line for the Saints, but they have got to get more coverage on that offensive line. He is having no time trying to find the receivers. I'm going to give a lot of props thus far. Preston Stone is not going to see a lot of press coverage here at the high school level, and that is exactly what he's seeing on both ends on the outside receivers. Evan Green is having no time able to shake his man, and it's giving Preston Stone no time to find any relief, and that is why they find themselves down 17-0 thus far.
Still with 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. What a start for this All Saints team. Coming in 2-0.
No relation.
And you got to think head coach Aaron Beck and the entire Saints coaching staff has to be elated with the start that their team has had tonight. Lynn back again to kick. Again, we'll have a short kick right around the 30-yard line is fielded, avoiding one tackler, got knocked out by, it looked like, maybe his own man, bring up first down right around the 35-yard line, and he's got to try and get a little bit going on this offensive side. Christian Benson was the one who fielded it.
Again, not quite sure what to say right now about this Parish offense. They've almost been unrecognizable as we're halfway through this, just the first quarter, and it looks like the tables have turned and Parish is getting manhandled.
So drive number 3 starting now for the Panthers. This time on their own 30. They've started on the Fort Worth 37, their own 40, and now on the 30-yard line. And again, Stone having to scramble early on. A flag comes in late. Stone gets knocked out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage.
And maybe taking a little bit of revenge. We have a ref on the ground. It's going to be a holding call.
I have to agree with you 100%. This is not the same Panthers team that we've seen throughout the first 2 games of the year, and really throughout the past couple of years. Haven't seen a whole lot of starts like this for this Panthers squad.
I will say this. The one thing you don't want is for a team to get complacent early in the season. They had an easy win last week, but when you've got the slate that they have to face this season, we've talked about it before this game started, having 5 teams in their district alone be in the top 10 in Division I for TAPS. They need to have a tough game early on, and this All Saints team is definitely offering them that option.
Stone again having to escape the pocket, gets out to close to the 25-yard line, will pick up about 4 yards after the holding penalty, and I agree 100%. And this is a tough district schedule for this Panthers team going throughout the season with that number 1 number next to them. You got to think there's a target on their back. Fort Worth Saints right now giving them more than they can handle to start off. 4:15 to go in quarter number 1, 17-0 Saints with the lead.
Second down.
And they're definitely getting the publicity of being the number 1 team, already having a game on ESPN2 this season. Later on, I believe it's the Bishop Dunn game will also be televised.
Handing it off to Culp. A spin move, has some room up the middle. Gets close to the 40-yard line. That's close to the first down marker, about a yard short. An impressive run by number 19, the 5'10 senior Caleb Culp.
Good job that time. A good spin move at around the 35, breaking a tackle. Looks like they're going to give him 2 yards short of the first down. But definitely would much rather have a 3rd and 2 instead of having a 2nd and 13.
To be about a 15-yard rush for number 19. 3rd down and about 2. Stone flanked by running backs. A miscommunication. Culp gets it and gets carried past the first down marker. A lucky break for the Panthers. They'll pick up finally a first down.
A little bit of a heated communication with Karin Lynch and Preston Stone. Getting it figured out, but nonetheless, it's no harm, no foul. Give them the first down. And we'll see if they get a little bit of momentum moving now as they near the midfield line.
So Culp and Lynch flanking Preston Stone behind in the backfield. 3 minutes to go in quarter number 1. 17-0 Panthers trail. Picked up their first down.
I think Stone just picked up the blitz. And it looks like the coaching staff might have noticed that. They're going to call a timeout over on the Fort Worth Saints sideline. They backed off the outside cornerbacks moving into zone coverage. But a good job that time by Stone picking up the blitz, and the Saints, wanting no part of it, are going to talk it over now on just under 3 minutes left of the first.
How often do you see a quarterback, a junior quarterback, obviously he has the experience, but there's not a whole lot of juniors, sophomores who's making those types of plays last year as well that can read the defense that well and make an adjustment at the line of scrimmage, and then in result, forcing the Saints to burn one of their timeouts.
They are very few and far between. I will say there is one other that I can name, and it's the quarterback out of Denton Geyer. Name is escaping me for the moment, but when you want to talk about a young quarterback that has the IQ to be able to control a game, I have seen only 2 in the recent last 2-3 years that have been able to walk up to the line, see the presentation, and without skipping a beat, able to audible at the line. But I will say this, very few coaches give their players the ability to make audibles at the line. Coach Novikov knows well enough that Preston Stone is going somewhere with his life, and he give him a lot of free reign there on the offensive duties.
First down and 10, trips to the right of Stone as a play action pass is trying to go deep, has Green, a step open, is caught to the 20, down to the 10-yard line, and will score. Evan Green with his third touchdown grab of the year.
That play started in disaster but ended up in paradise. A little bit of a miscommunication again behind the line. Carr and Lynch looked like they were going to have the read option. A great job that time by Preston Stone pulling it back. And again, another good move by Evan Green on the far sideline, giving a quick little shove, getting free, and having absolute daylight, strolling in through the goal line. Looks like Parish has a little bit of fight in him here at the end of the first quarter.
55-yard pitch and catch. Preston Stone with his 8th touchdown of the young season. 2:43 to go. The kick is up and right down the middle. 17-7 as the Panthers strike.
A great job that time bouncing back. Parish, that was just a beautiful throw right into the breadbasket of Evan Green. And I'm going to give a lot of props. Evan Green, he had 2 passes get batted down last week by showing his hand a little bit too early and having the cornerback covering him throw up his arms in just helpless defense and batting him down. A good job that time having the late delay to make the catch, and it works to perfection as he takes it in for his first touchdown of this game. He only had 1 last week, but I'm just going to say that was because of Preston Stone was spreading the wealth. His 4 touchdown passes were to 4 different receivers.
That brings his total up to 8 in the young season, and 2:43 to go in quarter number 1, 17-7. You think maybe perhaps the spark Preston Stone and that offense needed. Now going back to the defense, who on the only drive they've been out there gave up a field goal, about a 55-yard drive on 13 plays for Fort Worth All Saints, and that's their only points that they've scored on offense.
I see a lot of this is going to have to come down to that defensive line. But when you've got players like Blake Burris, like Noah Richards on that defensive line, they are an absolute unit when they get rolling. And they are very impressive. And we'll have to see if they can step up and shut down this defense, because Hamp Fay he needs to feel the pressure, because if you give him enough time to sit back there, he's already proven in this very young season that he can do just about whatever he wants.
Reed Boyster on the kick is fielded at the goal line, stopped at around the 24-yard line.
Looks like that time on the tackle, Andrew Merrick, the senior, getting in on the tackle. A good job on the coverage team.
So bring up first down and 10 at the 24-yard line. As defense getting back out onto the field. Hamp Fay coming into tonight's contest, 640 passing yards, 10 touchdowns in the first 2 games for Fay. He's a junior for this All Saints team, and a wide receiver screen past the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
They put a man in motion out of the backfield to use him as a blocker. A good little bubble screen that time on the far end. A little bit of a shifty move, gets down about 2nd and 3 now remaining.
A tough challenge tonight for the secondary of the Panthers. 2nd down to 3, play action, a quick pass on his back foot. Able to complete it, that'll be enough for a first down.
Looks like he just got past the line. An interesting look right now. Last week, Parish playing a majority of 3-4 defensive front. Looks like this week they've switched it up, going with 4 linemen on that one.
That right there was caught by Mitch Bothwell, 81. 6'5", 230 tight end / wide receiver is what they have him listed on. So first down and 10. Again, they're going to have a little bit of a wheel route, a big hit there. And that'll maybe be back to the line of scrimmage. Noah Love with a good tackle.
The senior backup quarterback getting a lot of action on defense. Had a good game last week. Had 2 batted down passes. That time coming up with a good quick stop. Giving up only a yard. Again, another man in motion out of the backfield.
Kenneth Borders was also there to help, and here's another halfback pass. We passed the first down markers to about the 48-yard line of the first down.
Henry Partridge able to run him down. Going to give him to the 48-yard line. This All Saints team is moving very quickly, giving no time for substitutions on the defensive side.
Here comes the 5th play of the drive, already close to midfield. Fay alone in the backfield. Takes the snap. Here comes a blitz from the Panthers. They get to him. The ball is out. They'll rule. It was an incomplete pass.
And they're going to throw the penalty. Looks like it's going to be intentional grounding. A very late flag that time. The head referee watched it the whole time, decided to very lazily throw out the flag at the end of the play, but nonetheless, it's still going to go against the Saints. It looked like Coach Novikov was seeing the same thing I was, kind of just waiting for the laundry to fly, and it'll finally be thrown. Now just waiting for the call.
So it is intentional grounding against Fay. Move them back quite a ways. Loss of down. Back to about the 30. Looks like they're going to bring him at the 35-yard line.
And it's not going to hurt the Saints too terribly much. If Fay had just taken the sack, he would have only been about 3 yards closer than this. So not a horrible take on the penalty.
Second down and 23, and there's a timeout. The Panthers did just get the timeout as they had too many men on the field. But Coach Novikov being awarded the timeout. They have one left now with 27 seconds to go in quarter number 1. 17-7, Saints with the lead. Thank you for tuning in to Game On Sports Productions coverage of the Parish Panthers 2019 football season. Nick Laupius alongside Jackson Donovan in this Week 3 matchup between a couple of TAPS opponents.
And we'll see how these timeouts are going to hurt the Panthers in the second quarter. You don't want to be using too many mental issued timeouts, and they've already had 2 here in the first quarter alone, with Preston Stone having to call the timeout with miscommunication on the offensive play call. And of course that time just waiting too long. You knew the penalty was coming. You could have subbed out the players, but you waited nonetheless, and that time having 3 players trying to just scramble off the field and not getting there in time, and now Coach Novikov having to burn another timeout, and we haven't even hit the second quarter yet.
And you talked about it right before the intentional grounding, is that they move fast. The Saints defense does. They don't allow really any time for substitutions, and the Panthers weren't able to take advantage of the one time they could have perhaps got a substitution, having to burn that second timeout. So second down 23, backed up to their own 35-yard line.
Little defensive shift into the cover 2 now.
Fay steps back, gets chased out of the pocket, escapes, and now he's going to run for it. Gets to the 42-yard line, bring up third down and long.
Looked like the initial man that time running him from behind was Colby Blatnick. A good job that time. Another senior on this squad. And linebackers that we see 3 players sprinting off the field just trying to get back in time. And they're going to take it into the quarter break.
So what a start for this Saints team. 17 straight points for Fort Worth, but then Preston Stone and Evan Green connect on a 55-yard touchdown pass toward the end of the first quarter. 17-7 our score heading into quarter number 2, but the Saints are driving on their second possession of the ball game.
It has been ugly thus far for Parish. Some uncalled for timeouts being used, and then, of course, the 2 turnovers. I want to give some words of wisdom for this team to use, but they did score the touchdown on their last possession, so hopefully that puts them momentum moving in the right direction, but they came absolutely punched in the mouth. I've said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. I am very impressed by this Fort Worth Saints team coming out and absolutely running the tables there in that first quarter.
So we'll see how this defense responds. They did give up the field goal on their first possession out there. And it's been tough sledding so far against Fay, the junior quarterback who, not sure really a whole lot of people had circled coming into this season. But after 2 games, putting up close to 700 yards through the air, people are starting to pay attention. 3rd down and long. Have to get to the Panthers' 41-yard line. Is going deep. Has a man, maybe a step open, is just over.
There is a flag being thrown around the 22-yard line. I think they're going to say the push came in too early. That time on the coverage was number 20, Luke Bridges, who's had a good game thus far. But I think they're going to say he shoved a little bit too early. I think the refs were wanting that receiver to have a little bit more time to make a play on the ball, as it was Peyton Kramer trying to catch it. But, yeah, it looks like it's going to be just another mental error. They had 2 last week on unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. This one looks like it's going to be pass interference.
So 15-yard pass interference call against the Panthers. Will bring the ball all the way up to the Parish for a moment to the 30-yard line. Now they're moving back.
I think the players were thinking it was a spot foul, but TAPS rules changed. Was one of the rule changes they made about 3 years ago. Along with that, most notable one is the touchback rule, where if you catch it inside the 20, you use it as a regular touchback. Another one of those rule changes was pass interference. They went similar to what the NFL did, and it is no longer a spot foul. Instead, it's just a 15-yard penalty.
So it brings it to the 43-yard line. One of the officials on the Panthers sideline blowing the whistle and motioned to the Saints team.
I think they were subbing out Peyton Kramer that time.
So 1st and 10, the penalty brings it to the Parish 43-yard line. So we are just underway in the second quarter of action. 17-7, the Saints lead. Send a man in motion, and again, it's going to go out to the running back, and incomplete.
They are definitely enjoying those quick slants, little flat to the running back in motion out of the backfield, some bubble screens to the receivers. I'm interested to see if they're going to try and use this for later on in the game, do a little bit of a dink and dunk as we see Peyton Kramer get put back into the game. But this might be working to their advantage, maybe playing the long call. Let's see if the second half they come out, maybe fire a little bit more downfield. We've only seen Hamp Fay try that once in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to throw that in a little bit more. I have a feeling head coach Aaron Beck might have something up his sleeve moving into this one.
Yeah, you got to think trying to lull maybe the secondary into covering that short pass. Is right here as Matlock breaks out a 1 tackle, falls forward close to the 35-yard line to bring up 3rd down and about 4.
And a good job that time coming out of the backfield. One of the few runs we've seen, but definitely fighting for an extra yard or two, getting them to about 3rd and I'd say definitely about 3rd and 4. Definitely a much more manageable situation for this offense, who, to be honest, haven't really struggled as much here in the first half.
Here comes the 10th play. That one almost intercepted.
Oh, it looked like Keegan Addison got his hands on it. Oh, the sophomore came close, just getting it batted down.
So bring up 4th down. A good play by Addison. Will bring up the 4th down. They will go for it. The Parish sideline travel well. Good crowd out here tonight for this Panthers side. They are on their feet trying to make some noise. 4th down and 4. Fay steps back, gets chased out of the pocket, is looking to maybe run, has a couple of white jerseys there.
Oh, it's going to be close.
It will be very close depending on the spot they give them.
It is going to be close.
And there you see who's short. So the Panthers come up with a big stop and will get the ball back to their offense.
That was maybe a yard struggle. I don't even think they're going to change the yard marker for the 1st down. They're going to give it just inches short. Oh, man, it's a tough call to make when the tackle is made on the far side of the field away from the chains. It's one of those that you maybe want to have a measure on it, but with both these teams having very fast-paced offenses, I'm okay with the call of this early in the game, letting them play with it. As Parish, a good job that time forcing the turnover on downs.
So the Panthers defense able to rally after the pass interference call stops it. stops the Saints team. Lynch gets the handoff and falls forward to close to the 40-yard line.
Let's see if this running game can get going. We're going to see a lot of Carn Lynch and Christian Benson as Christian Benson does get subbed in. Interesting. Looks like Carn Lynch had a little bit of a hobble on his step as he'll come to the sideline. Of course, did have some hip injuries last season. Fought through for most of it. Had a good season as a junior. Now as a senior getting a lot of the main load. Looked like a read option.
Stone able to fall right back on it, lose a couple, and bring up a third down. And there's just another mental gap. We saw on the second possession there was miscommunication when they had the handoff between Caleb Culp and Carn Lynch. There was miscommunication on that one with both backs in the backfield, and this time Stone not able to get the clean handoff, able to fall back on at the third down and about 7.
I think that might have just been, again, we talk about it a lot, but Preston Stone is just a junior. I think that might have just been a read option that he made a mistake on if you want to keep it or not. We're getting down to 5 seconds on the play clock.
Benson having to storm in. 2 seconds and 1. They just do get it off. Stone getting chased, runs into his own guy. He ran into Carn Lynch, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There is a helmet on the field. There's going to be a mandatory substitution for the Saints now. Look like, and it's the struggle we've been seeing all through the game, is Munoz, the offensive tackle, having a tough fight.
Yeah, he's going up against number 76. That's Marcus Childs, sophomore, 5'7", 200. So not the tallest, but he's got a lot of strength. And he will have to sit out one play. This is 4th down. Or beg your pardon, 3rd down.
And whatever momentum this Parish team had moving into the quarter, this All Saints team has absolutely sucked it out of the air.
So 3rd and 7, Stone making adjustments at the line. Snap a little bit high, able to corral it though, has a man and is thrown too low. Looks like Jai Moore, the intended receiver. And now it'll be 4th down.
That's just a tough situation. You had a man open crossing midfield. Maybe just tried to get it out a little bit too quick. But 9 minutes here remaining in the second, and this Parish team again being stalled. Not quite sure what Coach Novikov is going to have to say in halftime, but he's got to get the blood pumping in this offense because right now they are not playing up to the pedigree that they know they are capable of doing this season.
Panthers do get the ball to start the second half. Here comes the kick, or the punt rather. It's a good punt right around the 30-yard line. We'll take a Panthers bounce to about the 23-yard line. So a successful punt for the Panthers, changing field position. And the Saints will get it back up by 10 with 9:02 to go in quarter number 2. And Nick Laupius, Jackson Donovan here, and how about this? Mr. Donovan celebrating a birthday tonight. What a way to spend the birthday. I believe 23? 23, your Jordan year.
My Jordan year.
Congratulations. Happy birthday to Mr. Jackson Donovan. Thank you for spending your 23rd out here with us this evening.
I don't see another better way to spend it. It's a Friday night. The weather is beautiful. We're sitting here watching Texas high school football. I don't know where I'd rather be. I mean, it's either here at home doing homework, and I'd definitely much rather be here.
Perfect. Well, again, a happy 23rd to you and Christian Benson with number 23 in common tonight. This one's a handoff to Matlock. It's about 2.
And we're under 9 minutes now, and this Parish team, this defense, if they're going to step up, it's going to have to be now. They cannot afford to go down again by 3 possessions.
So Faye steps back, has plenty of time, has a man wide open. It's the big tight end, breaks one tackle and gets out to about the 37-yard line. This
interesting situation. It looks like it was Matthew Epperson in at quarterback. Not quite sure what's going on, but the junior now at the helm.
Yeah, that is number 10.
An interesting look now by Coach Aaron Beck.
Another.
It seems to be working, and another helmet comes flying off, and there will be another forced substitution.
The pass out to the flat completed for a few.
And there's Luke Bridges again everywhere here in this game, but he'll have to be forced out with equipment coming off. This is an interesting look that we're seeing. Epperson, the junior, definitely gives up the size to Fay.
Yep. He comes in 8 of 11 in 2 games. It's going to be a false start, but Epperson coming in 8 of 11 throughout the first 2 games, 135 yards through the air, 2 passing touchdowns. Epperson not happy with the call.
There is a flag on the play back behind the 30-yard line. I think it's going to be called on the offensive line. Might have been a false start.
I know that Panthers sideline was very vocal right as the ball was snapped, and it is a false start. So that will back them up 5. Second down and about 12, maybe 13. But again, very interesting that you have Epperson back there as quarterback in for Hamp Fay.
Especially with this way that this offensive line has been, or this entire offense has been playing. Epperson going deep.
He's going deep. They tangle up with each other. I'm not sure about that.
There are 2 flags down. Oh,
it's
going to be on the offense.
That is the correct call. Yeah, Kramer clearly impeding with the defensive back.
Wow, what a turn. Epperson showing off the arm strength going deep. But
yeah, the back judge waved off the call from the side official, and he was the one who said, no, that's offensive pass interference. So that will be on number 6, Peyton Kramer, who's had a couple of good looks tonight, will be called for offensive pass interference, and this will back him up even more.
And Epperson is staying in the game. I'm trying to wrap my head around this one. 17-7, you're playing the number 1 team in the state, and your starting quarterback has come out and has been absolutely on fire. Yes, you only got a field goal in that first possession.
They've been able to move the ball very well.
They have.
And that last possession, they went for it, 4th down. They came out short by just inches.
And
I mean, Epperson hasn't had a whole lot of coming in with 11 attempts in the season compared to coming into tonight 56 for Fay.
And Fay is right there at the edge of the out of bounds. Just looks like he's waiting to get the call to go back in.
Doesn't look to be any injury or ailment for number 7. It's just a simple swap at quarterback. Well, they got to get to about the 47-yard line, and this one is well out of reach.
I actually think that one got tipped. A good job on the outside that time. Looked like it was the big man, number 99, Blake Burris, getting a hand up. If not getting a hand on it, at least impeding the vision to the receiver. So I'm going to give a lot of props that time to the senior, listed at 6'4", 260, but I don't know. I think he might have a couple more inches on that one. He has definitely been playing larger than his listed height and weight in these last few games.
So 3rd down and close to 30 as they're going to set up a screen. Matlock able to slip through 1 tackle, gets knocked down at the 33-yard line, bring up 4th down and long. So the Saints shooting themselves in the foot. A couple of penalties and had the false start and then the pass interference. And looky here, number 7, Hemp Fay back in at quarterback on this 4th down and about 15.
Are we going to see a quarterback squib? Or no, we're going to see another a forced timeout taken by Coach Novikov with 7:21 remaining here in the second quarter. If you watch the tape on this All Saints team, you have to see the speed that they've been coming out with, and they have not been able to control themselves on offense or defense here in this first half. That's 2 penalties taken just to avoid too many men on the field penalties, and then the other one was taken to avoid a delay of game.
Not the start that Coach Novikov and company were expecting coming into this All Saints matchup. We want to look at overall the ranking overall for this Parish team at all schools in the state, not just in TAPS, but their state of Texas rank was number 21. And then this All Saints team overall in the state of Texas ranked number 99.
This Parish team is, to say the least, impressive. They have a very high caliber. To say that this team, that the roof is the ceiling, is definitely going to be an understatement. As I try and quote Michael Jordan on that one. You said Michael Jordan year, so I'm going to see if I can quote him. How much I can quote him here in this one. But the amount of pressure that has to be on this team coming into the season has got to be unmeasurable. But they have the talent to live up to all of it. And Hampface going to be back, and he's going to punt.
A line drive punt fielded at the 25-yard line, looking for a little bit of room. Breaks one tackle, trying to bring it back toward the inside.
He's got space. He's got a lot of
time.
green.
Caleb Culp with a stiff arm and brings it into Saints territory at the 43. Another impressive return for number 19.
Oh, but beating himself up. Gabriel Grubbs.
He was close.
That was his man. He blocked it well, but I don't think he expected the return to come that far. I don't want to say he gave up early, but maybe just needed a little bit more self-awareness on what was going on, but nonetheless a great job. And again, another short field for this Panther offense to start from.
And we'll see if they can capitalize. Preston Stone and company coming back out. They haven't had a whole lot of time out on the field. 12 plays, 12 offensive plays, and you compare that to 22 plays for Fort Worth. 7:11 to go in the first half of action. They're down 10, trying to go deep, trying to come back for the ball, and that's an easy pass interference call as Evan Green was trying to come back, and it will be a 15-yard penalty.
Evan Green might have aided a little bit there, maybe falling to try and exaggerate that he had his arm hooked, but a lot of pressure that time being brought. It looked like about 7 guys. I would call that a zero pressure call by the All Saints defense. A good job putting pressure on Preston Stone, trying to get it out early, and Evan Green on the outside.
That was Kelvin Brewer, the junior cornerback, called for the pass interference. So 15 free yards for the Panthers will march further into Saints territory. 7:06 to go, down 10. Panthers get the ball to start the second half. On what is a beautiful night here in Fort Worth, Texas, and fans of both schools taking advantage. We've got a nice little breeze coming in as well. We have the Fort Worth side. Plenty of fans over on that side, and then this Parish team travels well as the visitors' bleachers here are packed in red and blue, as you like to see as the Panthers fans. As Parish looks to go 3-0. Down 17-0 early on. There was a Stone to Green 55-yard connection on the touchdown pass, and now set up at the 31-yard line of Fort Worth. We'll hand it off to Karin Lynch. Got hit hard behind the line.
Number 50, Elijah.
Oh, and there was a wrestling match down here on the sideline. Knocked down one of the camera guys on this Panthers sideline. Because Andrew Bettle was tied up on the All Saints side, and I believe that was Joe, number 66, for the Panthers. I didn't see what started. I just saw that number 19 and number 66 were thrown to the ground.
Looks like the only penalty being called will be against Parish. So not sure if it was one of those situations where the retaliation was the only thing caught by the refs. But nonetheless, the lone penalty will go against the Panthers as they will be backed up. Still first down, but have a long way to go now.
All the way back to the 47-yard line. So unsportsmanlike conduct for Parish. After And Karin Lynch was stopped about 5 yards behind the line as now they'll sprint out to the line of scrimmage. Stone alone in the backfield. Looking to the sideline for some direction now. There's a blitz coming off the side. He's going to have to throw it. Has a man and will throw it out of bounds. Second down.
A lot of pressure. And I think he knew what was coming as he looked over to Coach Novikov for a little bit. Of help, but none was coming as they were getting a little bit short on the play clock. Good job that time immediately rolling out to his right, but unfortunately the play was just not designed to have anyone open on that side of the field as it was just Evan Green streaking down the sideline.
Well, I got for number 42. That's the one who just came out on the blitz. A junior, Nick Daniels, was the one who forced the pressure. So third down and long. They have to get to about the 32-yard line.
Prevent coverage being shown by the Saints.
Stone gets tripped up at the 49-yard line. It's a sack for this Fort Worth team. Bring up fourth down.
That was Kamen Lane again. We saw him earlier in this game.
Yep.
But he is back, picking up the key tackle, forcing fourth down. And this might not be the end of the world. We've got 6 minutes left in this half. Both teams are moving very quickly. If Parish can pin them somewhere inside, preferably the 10-yard line. I know this is high school and coffin corners are not that common, but we're going to go a for the brand moment and see if this Parish special teams can redeem itself. This one's going to be a low roller.
Right around the 25-yard line. So they lost a total of 6 yards on that drive that started on the 43.
And I know it's probably against their good nature, but if I'm head coach Aaron Beck for the All Saints, I'm trying to take as much time off the clock as I can. If you can try and get at
no
least a
timeouts
field
left
goal,
for the Panthers as well.
Exactly. If you can try and get as much time off this, maybe pick up a field goal going into halftime, that'll make it a 13-point game. But try and give it, if you can keep it away from the Panthers for less than 2 minutes, give it to them less than 2 minutes in this first half. It could be a very big momentum swing that's already in favor of the Saints, but it could just amplify everything moving into the second half.
So first down. Looks like trying to roll out. A flag comes in. Looks like it will be a holding as Faye picked up 5, but the flag comes in the area of holding.
I believe that one will be called on number 63, Maddox Epperson, younger brother of, I would say, backup quarterback Matthew Epperson, the sophomore. Looks like his hands just got a little bit too tight on the defensive lineman, and that'll back him up.
So first down and very long as they get moved back all the way to about the 15-yard line. 5:36 to go in quarter number 2, and what has been a bit of a surprise tonight here in Fort Worth. 17-7, Saints on top of the Panthers. Saints got off to a quick start, scoring 17 straight. A pick 6, a blocked punt, scoop and score. They started the game with possession, and they kicked a field goal, but then again it was Preston Stone, Evan Green, 55-yard touchdown to close it to 17-7, a gain of about 4 there.
Quick little toss, trying to go wide on the far sideline. Not a lot of space there as it's going to be a short game, maybe a yard. Second down.
So Matlock in motion, rather. Faye steps back, has some time, has a check down. A big hit there at the 20-yard line. My goodness.
Oh,
Kenneth
my
Borders.
goodness. Oh, my goodness, son. Lowering the helmet and laying the thunder. A monster, as I hear a fan shouting, nighty night. Good night.
5'11", 205 junior linebacker Kenneth Borders just absolutely laid the wood. 3rd down. And about 14. A low snap. Fay able to field it. Has some pressure. Looking. Is caught by the running back. Makes a move. Has some time. Here comes Culp trying to make the stop and is tackled at the 44-yard line. So Matlock with a quick sidestep past the first down markers and gets a new set of downs on what looked to be going to be a stop for this Panthers defense.
Just a demoralizing play. You force the quarterback to scramble. Has only one man that he could get rid of it, and there are 3 Panthers in the general area to be able to stop him before the first down and still giving up a huge chunk play.
So here comes Fay. He's got a little bit of time. Now we'll step up looking, and we'll just toss it out. And an impressive grab mid-air by one of the coaches down on the sideline for the Panthers. Didn't lose his headset or anything.
It's going to be an intentional grounding, or no, it'll be a penalty against the Panthers. I didn't see the call.
Not exactly sure what it was. It was a
15-yard penalty.
Personal foul.
First down.
So it brings it to the 29-yard line, first down 10. 3:36 to go in the second quarter. 10-point lead for the Saints. Going to be a handoff. Bouncing it back in. Grabs a few. That time it was Love, 6'1" senior, listed as a cornerback and a punter. Got the carry. Picks up a few.
Still trying to figure out exactly what that penalty was on the last play, but as we near the 3-minute mark, the Panthers, if they're going to make a stop, it has to be now. They have to keep them out of field goal range at a minimum because they cannot afford to give up more points.
Clock is running, under 3 minutes to go now. Again, no timeouts for the Panthers. The Saints have 2 timeouts left. So Fay steps back, pump fake, is in a little bit of trouble, able to escape though, has some blocks, and now looking down to the end zone, almost caught by Kramer, just out of the reach, bring up 3rd down.
Trying to go back corner, but unable to come up with it that time. Seems to be his favorite target when trying to throw past 5 yards is Kramer. They don't do it often, but when they do, there's definitely one man that they're targeting. But a fortunate stop of the clock that time for the Panthers. This is a key 3rd down.
3rd down and 6 on the 25-yard line. 2:42 to go in quarter number 2. Saints with the lead and possession. Fay steps back, got hit hard, is caught at the line of scrimmage and thrown down for a gain of about 2. Is Cameron Lane with the grab.
It was Love again coming up with the catch.
Love, yes. Number 4, not number 3.
It was Love coming up with the catch. Emmerich DePona making the tackle, but for someone who's on the roster as a quarterback and a punter, definitely getting his use out there on the outside.
Doing a little bit of everything is number 4. 4th down and about 2. Fay looking over to the sideline. His hands out.
We might see a timeout being called. We're down to 5 seconds on the play clock, and I think that's what they plan on doing.
Bring it down as much as they can. The timeout will stop the clock with 1:51 left in this first half.
And they're doing exactly what I suggested they need to do. I don't know if they're listening to our call or what, but maybe it's just the birthday vibes that they might be listening to.
Yeah.
But doing exactly what I thought they needed to. They've taken it down under 2 minutes, and even if they score on this next play with no timeouts, the Panthers are going to be in a tough situation to try and go down the length of the field. Now, I know that they have this quick strike ability.
We haven't seen a whole lot tonight.
We haven't seen a whole lot of it tonight. No, that defense has been stifling for the Saints. They've done a good job, and this is going to be interesting to see what Coach Novikov has to say to try and get the team fired up here at halftime. because it is not looking good for the Panthers.
Well, this defense, though, they bend, not breaking, though. They've only given up the 3 points. They've been out on the field for a while here in this first half. They've given up a lot of yards, but they've only given up the 3 points defensively.
And you think about it, this could be a 7-3 game that Parish could be winning if it wasn't for the 2 turnovers. Of course, you had the pick 6 and then the punt that was blocked in return for the touchdown. So this could be a very different game if not for what I would say would be mental errors.
Yeah. And results is also, you have the 3 timeouts that came in kind of mental lapses. So at a minute 51, if they get the stop here and get the ball back, they're not going to have any chances to stop the clock. They have to get out of bounds. So here you go, 4th down and 2. Face steps back. Here comes a rush as a man open is caught. No, incomplete. Wide open was Matlock. Had a wide open lane to the end zone and just dropped it.
Good job getting pressure up the middle that time was the senior defensive lineman Noah Richards, using all 240 of his weight and pushing it straight past the center. And it's going to be Parish getting the ball back. This will end up being the longest drive that they've had in this game if they want to take it to score.
Longest drive they've had so far, play-wise, was their 3rd possession. And it only took them 4 plays to get into the end zone. First possession of the game was only 3 plays before the pick 6. The second possession was a 3-and-out, blocked punt, return for the touchdown. Then you had the 55-yard touchdown on the 4 plays, then a 3-and-out, and then 4 plays, and then a punt on their last possession. Stone steps back, runs into his own guy, and gets taken down behind the line, a loss of about 2. Clock rolls with a minute 35 to go.
Wouldn't have been able to get out of play, but had his junior tight end Foster Malloy out to his left, probably could have gotten it off. At least would have gained about 4 or 5 yards before he would have been taken down. But another sack given up by this offensive line, who has been strong the first few games but struggling here tonight.
2nd down and 12. Stone looking and has pressure again. We'll just have to fire it out of bounds. Brings up 3rd down now. And yeah, you're exactly right. This offensive line struggling against this front 4 of this Saints defense.
That time only giving 4 players on the rush, but Cayman Lane coming in as the late rusher, doing a good job putting pressure on Stone, forcing him to scramble again. He has had no time in the pocket tonight, as it has been rough for the junior quarterback.
Minute 11 left, 3rd down and 12 on their own 18. A high snap, he bobbles it and will just go down at the 11-yard line.
I think a timeout will be called by the Saints, seeing a situation where they could get the ball back with about a minute left.
Wow.
They're going to call a timeout. They'll have 1 left, but this one, I mean, they're almost at their own 10-yard line for the Panthers.
What a break for Parish. So, Coach Beck and company get the timeout, and we'll give the Panthers just another. Oh, I beg your pardon. Actually, they called the timeout right at the end of the play, so it is 4th down. Saints use their 2nd timeout to stop the clock. 65 seconds left. They will get the ball back on what is 4th down, about 17.
It's a tough situation. You know you have a quarterback like Preston Stone. However, you're backed up at your own 11-yard line. I don't think this is a situation where you can afford to try and push it on 4th down. It looks like they're going to send the punt team out, as it is Reed Boyster out to try and punt it away. And one of those low rollers that he has done already in this one would be a perfect, just try and take time off the clock. That way the Saints can't get a return.
So the 3rd straight possession ending in a punt. It's a lot of hang time. This one is touched. Oh, what a mental error.
No, I think they're going to say the player was pushed.
Oh, Chase Parish will be bailed out. The senior, number 24 for the Saints, made contact with the ball.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to say. Coach Novikov is furious, but they're going to say that he was pushed by a Panther punt coverage player, and they're going to keep it with the Saints.
So it'll be down at the 43-yard line of Parish. 62 seconds on the clock and a timeout left for Fay and the Saints offense. And Novikov and the entire Panthers sideline furious at that call. Didn't really see a whole lot of shoving. But, of course, we're up here in the press box, the referee right in the middle of it. But, again, Nathan Parish for this Saints team getting bailed out there. First down and 10. The 43-yard line. Fay steps back as a screen is dropped. Brings up second down. Big ol' 99 bearing down on Fay. Blake Burris. He's a little bit taller than his listed 6'4" size on there. 260 for number 99. Forcing the quick pass, incomplete, second down.
Good job getting in the middle of everything that time was Munoz. Doing a little bit of chirping to the halfback. But a good screenplay that probably wouldn't have gone anywhere. But we are under a minute left.
Munoz with a tackle for loss on that first possession of the game. Play action, a bit of a delay from Fay, is looking deep, has a man wide open and is caught, tackled down at the 12-yard line. Clark Hillman left open, makes the grab for the first down.
And just finding a hole in the coverage, able to get there. Luke Bridges, the senior, finally taking him down, but they're inside the red zone now, 50 seconds remaining.
Plenty of time.
Still at, no timeouts, but it's complete mental error again on the secondary.
Fay steps back, is pressured, gets out of it. Flag comes in. It's going to be a holding, I believe, and throws this out of bounds. 31 seconds left on the clock.
And again, Munoz getting in.
Yep.
Doing a good job from
6
his.
foot, 225 senior has been a menace this evening.
But this defensive line of you've got Munoz, Richards, and Burns has done well, especially last week in Tyler. This week a little bit quiet, a lot of good protection on the offensive line by the Saints, but maybe showing a little bit of crack in the coverage as that defensive line putting a little bit more pressure on Fay. And that crowd just got really quiet. 31 seconds remaining here in this half.
So first down, they got to get to about the 2-yard line. That's the marker. This one's just thrown away, bring up second down.
Bringing 6 men on the rush that time, overpowering the offensive line, just trying to get a man on everyone. But a good job forcing the pressure and another incomplete pass.
So 28 seconds left on the clock. They're at the 21-yard line. Up by 10. Saints with the ball. Panthers do get the ball to start the second half. One timeout left for Fort Worth. None left for Parish. Here's a rollout now to the nearest sideline. Fay looking as a man is incomplete, and there's contact, and they're going to call it.
Again, fans are furious here on the Paris side, but Kenneth Borders, the junior, looks like it's going to be who they're going to call it on.
Yeah, they're going to roll it. It was uncatchable.
Ball.
It was uncatchable, well over the head.
I worry. Kenneth Borders that time got a little bit handsy there late in the play. You got to watch. You cannot afford to have a 15-yard. Well, this would be a half the distance to the goal penalty, but that is something you cannot give up when you've got less than 20 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Donshea Douglas, a senior wide receiver, was the intended receiver, but ruled uncatchable. So brings up third down. Ball on the 21-yard line. 21 seconds left on the clock. They got to get to the 2-yard line for a first down here on third down. A low snap. Fay able to field it, is going toward the corner, is tipped and incomplete.
Great job that time. I think that was Luke Bridges again.
Yeah. He got a hand on it. It was intended for Ben Patterson, but Bridges in coverage, able to bat that one away. Brings up 4th down, 16 seconds to go. They're going to bring out the kicking unit.
This would be a 39-yard attempt.
Andrew Lynn back out there, made about a 30-yarder in the first quarter on the first drive of the game. A good snap. Kick is up. Has the distance, but it's wide left. No good.
Little bit too much hook at the end of that one. Tried to get a low screamer down, but goes just to the left. So very fortunate break that time by the Panthers.
So again, the Panthers defense bending, but not breaking that time. Get a little bit of luck as the kick is pushed to the left. Still a 10-point deficit. 16 seconds left. No timeouts. You think they just take it to the second half? Or
yes
maybe
no.
try.
Yes
maybe
no.
try.
This is one of those interesting situations. Maybe try and see what the defensive coverage shows you. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints just go full prevent defense, and it looks like that's what they're going to do. They're going to back up the safeties to about the 50 to the opposing 45. At this point, yes, when you see this defensive coverage, I'd just do a little check down, see what you can get, and then take it into the half.
It'll be a misdirection to Lynch, or beg your pardon, that's actually number 23, Christian Benson.
And then that'll take us into the half.
So they'll take it to the end of the first half. I'm not sure a whole lot of people saw this coming. 17-7. Fort Worth All Saints on top of the Parish Episcopal Panthers. Panthers do get the ball to start the second half. A bit of a sluggish start on offense. We'll see if they can come out, make some adjustments, and put some points up on the board starting in the second half. We'll take a quick break, but first, some highlights from last week's win out from Tyler, Texas.
Please welcome to the field the mighty sounds of Midway, the Parish Drumline. This evening, the group will be playing their classic cadences, Bounce and Push. The Parish Drumline is led by Captain Grace Ritter and Assistant Captain Sam Robinson. Student officers include Cole Hudson, Claire Hudson, Chase Angel, Landon Scott, Owen Kisner, Angad Dahl, and Sammy Levinson. Our student manager is Natalie Pham. The group is under the direction of Melissa Camp and Chris Burns. Now sit back and enjoy the 2019 Parish Drumline. Let's have one more round of applause for the Parish Drumline. Give it up for the Parish Drumline. Please welcome to the field the Parish Rosettes. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the award-winning Parish Rosettes. The Rosette officers are Lieutenant Tony Buskin, Lieutenant Abby Swartzwelder, First Lieutenant Emma Denheimer, Lieutenant Yumeen Lee, and in the center, your captain, Lauren Chappell. Rosette of the Week is Miss Claire Buttles. Now be prepared to be dazzled by an exciting streamer routine to the Jonas Brothers hit song, Sucker. Here they are, the Parish Rosette. The Rosette managers are Miss Rachel London, Miss Maddie Anderson, and Mr. Adam Spencer. The directors of the Parish Rosette are Mrs. Megan Bowen and Miss Taylor Gray.
No, that was Express Hewlin location is proud to support the Saints. All Saints family owned. We're located by Hewlin Mall at the Hewlin River Ranch exit off of 820. Come see us and get some of our famous express tenders and sweet tea. Chicken Express is great for tailgate parties and family dinners. The mayor's family says, go Saints. Another great hit is coming up next, right here on Game Time.
It's a powerful combination. All Saints and Game Time.
That was another winning song here on Game Time. If you are interested in promoting your business and supporting All Saints Athletics through advertisement on Game Time, contact Coach Aaron Beck for more information. Time for more great tunes here on Game Time.
This is Game Time at All Saints. Generously provided by the All Saints Booster Club.
And welcome back as we are about to get underway for the second half of action. Nick Laupius, Jackson Donovan here from Fort Worth All Saints, where the Saints lead the Panthers 17-7 after one half of action. And Jackson, this is, well, to be quite honest, maybe something that not a whole lot of people expected coming into tonight.
No, it has definitely been a rough start for Parish. I'm going to give a lot of the credit for this one to Hamp Fay. A great showing by the 6'5" junior quarterback. When you look at the quarterback side, this is not the guy you'd figure we'd be talking about. Preston Stone has been shut down. I can count on maybe two fingers the times he's been able to stand in the pocket and deliver. He has been forced under a lot of pressure. A great job by head coach Aaron Beck for the Saints and his defensive staff on just not letting the junior quarterback get comfortable. And so it has been a rough start for the Panthers, hoping to see if they can pull this one out here in the second half, but it is definitely going to be an uphill battle.
And that offensive line has had a struggle in that first half. And like you said, well, the junior quarterback, Preston Stone, hasn't had a whole lot of time. He did have the 55-yard touchdown pass to Evan Green to get things started for the Panthers. That's passing touchdown number 8 for Preston Stone on the season, 3 receiving touchdowns now for Evan Green. But another big thing is just seen a lot of mental lapse out there on the field for the Panthers side. All 3 timeouts were due to mental lapses and some big-time penalties for the Panthers in that first half.
And it came back to bite them there in the waning moments of the second quarter. They were backed into their own 25-yard line-ish area, and with having no time to stop the clock or have a timeout to talk it over, ended up having to punt on 4th down, and were lucky to just give up a field goal attempt, but the 39-yarder went wide to the left. So still just a 10-point game. But Parish will get the ball to start this second half, and this is definitely going to be a possession that you want to talk about momentum. This is going to be a key moment for this team. If they can get on the board, even if it's just simple field goal, make it a one-possession game, it will work out amazingly for the morale of this team.
The positive for Parish tonight so far has been the defense. They have given up a lot of yards. They've been on the field a lot, but the defense has only given up 3 points, and that was on the opening drive of the game. So the defense doing their part to keep Parish Episcopal in this game, as we have Andrew Lynn back in to get things started as we are underway in the second half of action. A short kick will go out of bounds. So another penalty. That's the second time Lynn has kicked it out of bounds. So, again, good starting field position for Preston Stone and company. See what adjustments they've made and if they can catch some fire here in the start of the second half.
Stone, in his third game this season, has struggled early in this one. He did have a rough game against Trinity Christian, going 14 of 24, a measly 58% completion percentage, only 210 yards. Definitely a strained performance that we're used to seeing him. However, he bounced back last week for 305 yards, 5 touchdowns, did have the 1 interception, but that was more so just on a well-defensive play by the secondary of Grace Community. Hoping to see the second half in this one come out completely opposite of the first, but this is now a mental game for this junior.
Caleb Culp has had a couple of nice plays running the ball. Evan Green, of course, been the big target for Preston Stone. As they'll get started on the 35-yard line. Their longest drive of the game so far was that touchdown drive. Only took them 4 plays to put it into the end zone. It's been a lot of 3-and-outs, had a pick 6 as well. Last 3 possessions resulting in punts for the Panthers. Looking to do something more here as an outside run. It's Culp again toward the first down marker and then some out toward midfield for a first down, and that'll get things going for the Panthers here in the second half.
Good stiff arm that time by Culp. Coming around the outside, the young sophomore Mason Magnus trying to get the tackle, but was not strong enough to fight through the good effort, and so it'll be the first down picked up. A good start to the second half, but we need to see Karin Lynch in the backfield get a little bit of momentum. Culp's had a good job running, but the workhorses of Christian Benson and Karin Lynch have done nothing thus far in this game.
A couple of big returns for Culp as well, both from a punt and a kick return. They'll give it to Culp again, this time to that far side, has a brigade of blockers, gets past midfield. We'll pick up close to 5.
Another flag on the play at about the 45-yard line.
And holding.
Another mental error that time. Not sure who it was called on, but you just, whenever you finally get a first play, pick up the first down, you cannot afford to be giving up bonehead moves on having a clean running lane and having a holding penalty be called, and that'll back you up. You won't lose a down, but it's now going to be a very long first down try.
So first 2 plays of the second half, trying to stretch it out to the outside. They really just kind of ran it in between the tackles in that first half.
Down to 7 seconds on the play clock. I think it's going to be a sideline infraction penalty. I think they're going to use it as a warning.
So maybe a little bit of frustration starting to peek out from this Panthers team. First down and long following the holding penalty. Got to get to the Saints 43-yard line, and Stone is going deep looking for Green, adjusts, and it is deflected. That time James Williams, the sophomore in coverage, able to bat it away.
I think that'll actually be the first pass down the field of more than 20 yards that a flag is not thrown. As it looked like it was just good defense that time by the Saints. Evan Green unable to come up with it.
As a little bit underthrown. There's been a few targets to Green where he's had to try and come back to the ball. The first time he did get the pass interference call for Parish Episcopal. That gave them an automatic first down. Now here comes a run. It's, I believe that's Culp again. We'll pick up about 5 yards.
And letting the sideline know, Cayman Lane coming up with the tackle, the senior. Good job setting the edge and giving up no ground, keeping it at a long third down.
Third down and about 17. First possession of the second half. Panthers trail by 10, 17-7. 10:25 to go in quarter number 3. Live from Fort Worth, Texas. Stone steps back, has some time, now looking as a man open, is down low. It is caught by Benson. That's going to be about 3 yards short of the first down marker.
Looks like they're going to place him just short of the 47. Definitely in midfield range. It's an interesting question on if you want to go for it, but this offense has been stagnant all night long. So if you can get a 4th and about 4 like they do here on the opposite side of the field, might be a situation that you want to try. And I think that's what Coach Novikov is going to do.
Well, talk about being stagnant. And that last play was the 5th play of this current drive. This is now the longest drive of the night for the Panthers. Play number 6. They'll hand it off to Benson. Breaks free, has some room. Over to the 30, cuts it back. And it takes a trio of Navy jerseys to bring him down at around the 22-yard line. Huge run.
Great job that time by the senior. Breaks a tackle right off the bat at the line of scrimmage. Gets downfield. Had a good block on the outside. Looked like it was Evan Green that time doing a good job, giving just a few more yards and able to fight it to near about the 22-yard line. Great job that time by the senior, refusing to go down.
Maybe that's the jolt of energy this offense needs. First down and 10 on the 22-yard line. Yeah, going to be a false start. Not exactly sure what happened there. I don't think the center was on the same page as everyone else.
I think that would be one of those situations where you call a false start on everybody but the center. I think it was just a miss. I think it was just a miss start time. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication on the play call, trying to get the defense moving early. Unfortunately, it's going to backfire.
And they're going to hand it to Benson again. Might get a yard. It's back down to about the 27-yard line. Second down.
That defensive line showing all throughout this game that even though they're going up against the #1 team in taps, they are going to prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. Doing a good job thus far in this one. Not letting Parish get anything moving.
So second down, Stone looks, has a man open. It's back to the original line of scrimmage to Green. Third down and 10. A lot of his throws, especially mid-range, I know you talked about this last week. A lot of his mid-range throws, he was kind of struggling. And they were a little bit low. And that one, again, looked just a little bit low to Green, having to go down and make the grab.
And it's weird. It's at the strangest times. It's whenever he finally gets a moment to sit in the pocket and has a chance to set his feet, make a good throw, is when they come up short. I'm not sure what is the mental disconnect.
So here we go, third down. Stone working to that far sideline, now trying to cut it back, has some blockers, able to spin free, will pick up a few yards to bring up 4th.
Might have had a man on the far side. I'm still going to say it was good defense that time by the Saints, as the kicking team will come out. If anything, at least now you give your place kicker a chance to just push it from the left hash mark, as this one looks to be about a 35-yard attempt, well within his range, as he was perfect last week, 6 for 6 on extra points. See what he can do now with his first field goal attempt of this one.
Reed Boyster from 35 out on the left hash mark. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, has the distance, and is good. So the Panthers strike on their first possession of the second half, 17-10.
It's not the outcome I think they were looking for, but they were able to take a lot of time off the clock. Over half of that third quarter belongs to them. A good momentum boost, even though they only got 3 points. Nonetheless, it is points on the board that they were unable to get in that first half. Maybe get something going, as we see a couple players dancing on the sideline, so at least the energy is back. So hopefully this defense can step it up. And as you've been saying all along, bend, don't break. Now it's time to stand firm and shut down players like Hamp Fay, who has been able to control this game, even though they've been unable to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, Fay has been pretty good. Jacob Matlock, number 22, is the running back. He's had some nice catches as well, someone to look out for. But the defense, again, only giving up 3 points. That was on the first drive of the game. And that scoring drive, 35-yard field goal, good from Reed Boyster, 17-10, with 6:43 to go in the third quarter. A long drive for Parish, 10 plays and 3 points to end up. So Boyster back out there at the 40-yard line to kick things off. And this defense has done a good job of holding the Saints' offense kind of in check in terms of points scored. And it is huge. I know talking about coming out of the second half, you said it was vital just to get some points. And they do get the field goal, make it a one-possession game, and now turn it back to the defense to try and get another stop. And you think maybe Preston Stone and company are starting to find their rhythm as this one bounces into the end zone in for a touchback. And the Saints will start out at the 25-yard line.
I think for this defense to be able to show that they've got the back of the offense, I think it's going to come down to the defensive line. Look for players like Blake Burris, who's already had a good game, but you have to see improvement out of Noah Richards on that defensive line. You need to set the edge there at nose tackle and force a good player like Hamp Fay, who has shown in this game that he has the wherewithal to make things happen. I think this is all going to start by that defensive line.
So again, doing a quick wide receiver screen on that far side. Got close to the first down at about to the 33, 34-yard line.
Flag out on the play now. Against the Panthers. Looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
A lot of errors so far for this Panthers team. A lot of big penalties and just miscommunications.
2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties last week, another 2 today. Not sure what's going on, but Coach Novikov has got to get in his players' ears and let them know that the number one way to lose a game in TAPS is to defeat yourself. When you've got a team of this much talent, there are not many teams out there that can give you a run for your money, and right now it's all mental errors that is keeping them down in this one.
14 points off of turnovers, and then, like you said, the 2 personal fouls. Just a lot of lapses on both sides of the football, but this time the defense able to stand strong, maybe a yard if anything. Bring up second down.
Good job that time by the defensive end on the far side. Looked like that was Munoz again in on the stop.
So we're going to go out with a little wide receiver flat. Matlock gets to midfield, picks up 3, third down and 7.
And flying across the field, Andrew Merrick that time sprinting from the other side of the logo, able to help on the tackle and keeping it at a decent 3rd and 6.
6'2 senior with the stop there. Ball on the 49-yard line. .5:15 to go in quarter number 3. 17-10, Saints with the lead and the ball. But a 3rd down and 7 for Fay and his offense. Steps back, has some room. Now trying to cut it back toward the inside. It's going to be close. They're going to get the first down as Fay got about a yard past the marker for a first.
Another defensive breakdown that time. Had several Panther defensemen in the area, but just a good heads-up play that time by Hamp Fay, finding the soft spot in the defense, able to make a few moves, picks up the first down. And it looks like this Saints team is rolling again into Parish territory.
How about this? Third quarter's gone by pretty quick. Already 4:45 left.
As compared to the first quarter that took nearly an hour.
It's going to be a handoff to Matlock right up the middle. Pick up about 3. You look at this Panthers schedule, only gets harder from here. We talked about maybe the top 5 teams in all of TAPS. 3 or 4 of them are in their own division.
And it's definitely not going to be an easy road. Next week on the road, at home to Trinity Christian, then back on the road again at Fort Worth Christian. And then they start 3 straight games, 1 at home, 2 on the road against Bishop Dunn, Bishop Lentz, and Prestonwood. All 3 of those top 10 teams.
He's going to be the quarterback keeper here from Fay, gets the first down. So a good challenge for the Panthers, Coach Novak's team. That is a daunting schedule for the Panthers at Bishop Lynch on October 18th and then October 25th at Prestonwood. And all those can be seen here on Game On Sports Productions. Nick Laupius, Jackson Donovan here with you, live from Fort Worth All Saints campus. First down and 10 is going to be a handoff again, maybe a gain of 1 or 2.
Jacob Matlock that time getting the handoff up the middle. But you talked about it. Parish is definitely not going to have many moments to breathe. Maybe the Trinity Christian game next week, it'll actually be their last unranked opponent for the next 4 straight weeks. 2 of them at home, 2 of them on the road, but all top 10 opponents, as this is a brutal district to be placed in the Dallas TAPS Division 1.
Second down and 8, another wide receiver screen, this time on the far side. Picks up about 3. Third down and about 5.
And we talked about earlier in this game if maybe those short little dink and dunk passes and handoffs were going to get this Parish team to scoot up a little bit to try and go deep. I think it's been the opposite. They have not moved up at all, maybe afraid of what could happen if they scoot up, but they are giving up everything short. And even though it's a short pass of maybe 1 yard, 4 yards after the catch is going to hurt you when you're giving up 5 to 7 yards on every completion. It doesn't matter how short the initial pass is. If you're giving up half a first down every time, every catch, it is going to kill you moving into this game.
Play action, looking toward the corner, is intercepted. The Panthers force the turnover, and again the defense holding strong, giving the offense the ball again. Not exactly sure who that was who made the interception.
I think that was Luke Bridges, number 20. The senior everywhere out there today, already having 2 diving bat downs, now coming up with the big interception. And this, we talked about, this could be the moment. The tide might be turning in the momentum for the Panthers. This has been their quarter thus far, and there's still 2 minutes left. See if they can get that quick strike ability to move here in this one.
So the senior, Luke Bridges, with the interception, brings the ball out to the 20-yard line. Back for his quarterback. 2:09 to go, quarter number 3. 7-point deficit for the Panthers as Stone steps back, has some time, is going deep, and incomplete. They wanted a flag, and they do get a flag.
I think the intended receiver that time was the freshman Daniel DeMary, but the flag will be thrown about the 45-yard line. The ball was pretty well out of position to be caught, but there will be a pass interference call.
James Williams called on the penalty. So 15 yards. First down and 10 on the 35. 2:02 to go. What's turning into a very exciting game. The first quarter, a little bit sluggish, maybe not the prettiest of football. Hard-nosed football nonetheless. Now we're starting to see a little more of the skill both these teams have to offer.
No matter how this game ends up, if Parish can find a way to pull this one out, this is going to be a big learning moment for this team, setting them up. This is a great catch, able to keep his feet inbounds. Evan Green that time, just around the midfield line, showing his, you talked about it, showing his skill with the footwork, able to stay inbounds. It'll be another first down for the Panthers.
Well, on that one, where did Preston Stone put it? Put it right in the numbers. It wasn't a down low like we've seen throughout the game, But this time, again, it was when he was rolling out and kind of throwing on the move.
It almost looks like, especially in this game, he's more comfortable when he's rolling out. He's had a couple miscues on throws, but definitely showing his comfort being pushed out of the pocket, making some changes at the line now.
Get up to the 48-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Ooh, big hit. About 2 yards back.
I think that was Cayman Lane coming in.
Yeah, we've been calling his name all night.
Just absolutely blowing up. Looked like it was Culp. Looks to be a little bit shaken up on the play. Talking to Lynch about his ankle. Now that would be a big loss. This Parish team doesn't rotate too many running back through. It's typically been Benson and Lynch, but Culp getting a big chunk of the playing time in this one.
Amari Hayes back in as the wide receivers. Now the Panthers are going to do a little bit of screen of their own. Christian Benson with a couple of nice cuts and gets past the first down marker to the 39-yard line.
Great little hesitation step that time. Caught the defenseman selling out on that one. I believe that was Tony Lacey, the junior, just not setting his feet and blowing right past Christian Benson. A good heads-up play that time, forcing another first down as they're inside the 40 and absolutely rolling here in this one.
So starting to see finally a little bit of rhythm for this Panthers offense. A minute and a half to go in the third quarter. Down by 7, but on the move. It's going to be a handoff to big number 20. Yeah, he's got a lot of room. Up into the secondary. He's tackled at the 20. Another first down.
And you talked about it earlier in this game, almost like a bowling ball. When he gets his weight moving forward, there aren't many people who can stop him. A good heads-up play that time by James Williams, the sophomore free safety, knowing he needs to go low, but still taking a big hit from the senior Karin Lynch there trying to get the man down. But he is going to feel that one in the morning.
So first down, 10 on the 21. It's a rollout here to the right. Is caught. Gain of about 3.
Making the catch that time. Looked like it was Jay Moore catching it and immediately going down.
So does pick up 5. 38 seconds to go here in the third. Panthers looking to tie things up. Going to be a handoff to Lynch again, plowing through and is down at the 5.
Lynch, who had the long 52-yard touchdown run last week to put it into a running clock against Grace Community, showing his wheels again here in this one.
So now Panthers going tempo. It's going to be a quarterback keeper and is in. Touchdown, Preston Stone.
Stone taking it in 5 yards, but a good job. The 2 plays before that, giving it to Karin Lynch, setting up for the fake, that time doing a read option, deciding to keep it himself, but the defensive end sold out on Lynch as he is able to take it in, bust through a tackle, falling forward, cross to the line, and that'll be the first touchdown here of the second half. This will be a tie game if this one can go through.
Boyster back in. 14 seconds left on the clock. And now the Parish stands are alive and loud as the kick is good. Tied up at 17. How about these Panthers? 17 unanswered as Preston Stone puts it home for the touchdown. On the ground this time for the quarterback, but a very impressive 8-play, 80-yard touchdown drive for the Panthers to tie things up with 14 seconds left in quarter number 3.
You know, we want to talk about Preston Stone being an amazing arm, but when you look at the season, has a 52-yard touchdown run already, of course, against Trinity Christian game 1 this year, winning it in overtime with a 25-yard touchdown run. And so he's at 14 yards a carry when he decides to keep it himself coming into this game. So even though he is definitely an amazing passer, he is showing why he's the number 2 dual threat quarterback in the class of 2021.
You know, reminds you a little bit of a quarterback from Denton last year, Spencer Sanders, who has already made a pretty good name for himself up at Oklahoma State in their first 3 or so weeks of the season.
Yeah, Coach Gundy getting a good one up there for the Pokes. He will fit in quite well in Boone T. Pickens Stadium. Look to see him, even though he's only a freshman year, already starting. He is an amazing talent, proving it, and I cannot wait for Bedlam for his first Bedlam this season. And of course, you can see them playing Texas this weekend. That is bound to be a good game down at Austin.
This one into the end zone, in for a touchback from Boyster, but yeah, there are definitely qualities of Preston Stone. You list off the rushing stats there. That's similar to what Spencer Sanders was able to do at his time up in Denton. So definitely very exciting. I believe a lot of offers already as a junior for Preston Stone. We did see a Clemson scout out on the field pregame-wise, but as a junior, already a lot of offers for this stud of a quarterback.
And it helps when you have the lineage that he does. Of course, Parish has proven that they can definitely pump out good talent. Of course, you had the Overton from last season, the 2 receivers. Also, another Overton still on the team at tackle. But when you have with Preston Stone, older brother Parker Stone playing at SMU, another brother quarterback at Virginia, it's hard to not notice when you have a family lineage like that. And so definitely look to see who he shows a little bit more interest with the later we get into this recruiting season.
That's just a football family first play here. Gets to the 35-yard line.
Brought down that time. Again, Andrew Merrick all over the place. That'll be the end of the third quarter. A good job that time there, controlling the pace of play, getting on the board twice in the third quarter. Parish has come out, and we talked about what would Coach Novikov have to say at halftime. I don't know what he said, but whatever it did, it's working.
18 plays run for the Panthers in that third quarter, 9 plays run for the Saints, and we're all knotted up. What a finish this is going to be. 12 minutes left on the clock, knotted up at 17. And the defense for the Panthers have only given up 3 points, and they are on the field right now. You got to like the chances for this Panthers team, especially considering how they've looked on the offensive side in that third quarter.
It has been impressive. Preston Stone showing why he is a highly touted recruit. As we just want to give a couple updates from around the area. Local school Brewer losing right now 38-7 in the fourth quarter. A couple interesting ones. Wiley East is winning 57-17 as they are absolutely in control at Northside. At Northside. And then we take a look at a couple games that have already taken place. Of course, Salina winning at Dunbar, and Frisco Centennial winning 20-7 over Everman.
Football Friday here in the state. Texas ball is on the ground. The whistle did not blow. The Panthers recover.
I think the refs are saying he was down.
There is no whistle initially. But I think you're right. They are ruling now that he was down.
Oh, Coach Novikov is not liking this one. He's wanting an explanation. Now that he's getting one, it is not what he's wanting to hear.
So out of all that, it's a first down.
But for the wrong team.
So the Saints with the first down, a little bit of luck. Almost had back-to-back turnovers. It was Luke Bridges with the interception in the end zone on the last drive. That resulted in the game-tying drive from the Panthers offense. Now we're going to have a timeout called by Fort Worth. 40 seconds gone by on the clock here in quarter number 4, knotted up at 17. First down and 10 on the 40-yard line. First timeout called from the Saints. They have 2 remaining. All 3 timeouts left for the Panthers here in this fourth quarter.
just a quick look. Prestonwood Christian in a barn burner. A live fourth quarter right now leading 29-28.
Oh, my.
A great game right now for Prestonwood Christian. An interesting 16 to 21 points were scored in the second quarter alone, as that one is an interesting one. We'll keep you updated on that one. 10 minutes to go in that one.
Of course, we see Prestonwood later on in the season.
Another shocker, Bishop Dunn falling 26 to 23, losing that one as they fall to 2-2, losing to Cornerstone Christian, another top 10 team who moves to 4-0, and they will probably remain in the top 5, if not get a little bit closer to Parish.
It is just such a tough division, a tough district, of course. And, well, again, it doesn't get easier for any of these teams later on in the season. And Parish is getting a first-hand look at that. This is a gain of about 6 after the timeout.
Trinity Christian, who Parish will play next week in the third quarter, losing right now 28-0 to Dallas Christian. Tough-looking game for them right now. That's just trying to keep y'all updated from games around the Metroplex.
I don't think there's anything better than Friday nights in the fall in the state of Texas. As this one's a run right up the middle, gets about 2 to bring up third down and short.
Interesting to see here now. Notice the one player not getting subbed out of the game is Hap Fay. We're not seeing Matthew Epperson come in for his rotations.
Yeah.
This is a short third down. Fay, who is being stunted by this impressive Panther defense, playing true to form now in this second half.
And now the Panthers faithful here in Fort Worth on their feet, making some noise. Third down and 2. It's a handoff up the middle. And it looks like it's going to be a first down.
It's
barely.
close, but I think they're going to get it by about a yard. Actually, once the pile moves a little bit, it's going to be a little bit farther than that. It looks like about almost
I got about a yard.
about a yard and a half, but a
Passed.
good pickup that time by the Saints.
That moves into Panthers territory, first down and 10. Under 10 minutes to go now in regulation.
Taking a lot of time off just to get to midfield. Almost a change in strategy from this first half for the Saints team.
Again, they're going another wide receiver screen. They got a good block. Set
Ball's
up. The ball
out!
is out. My goodness. And is caught by Hellman. Right place, right time by number 12.
A great hit, but a fortunate break that time. Catching it, almost plucking it out of midair as the senior that time to retain possession and even pick up a yard once he catches it.
You always see something new on Friday nights. And again, number 12, Hellman, very fortunate to be right there. And like you said, picked up an extra yard.
Senior captain definitely earning the letter on his chest on that one. Just give the fans a little bit of a mini heart attack.
Second down and 6, fake the toss, and then Faye's going to go up the middle to pick up a yard, bring up third down and 5.
Looked like that time it was Munoz again and Andrew Merrick also, the two we've been talking about a lot, keeping that one to a short gain or no gain.
Panthers fans getting up again. Third and 5. Ball on the 44-yard line. 8.5 to go. Tied up at 17 here from Fort Worth. And a man wide open. It's the tight end, number 81. Has some room and is down past the 30 to the 29-yard line for the first down.
Mitch Bothwell, the senior, 6'5", 230. His first catch of the game. With that size, I'm a little bit surprised.
He had one target earlier in the game. That's, I think, we first brought up the size. Wasn't able to bring it in, but yeah, first catch right there. 6'5". Now under 8 minutes to go. First down and 10 on the 29-yard line. It's going to be a handoff right up the middle and is met immediately. Going to bring up second down and 8.
The sophomore coming up with the tackle, Keegan Addison, doing a good job stopping him right at the line.
Keegan's had a good game, couple of big hits for him. Doesn't even look like they might have gained 1 yard. Second down and 9. A lot of time coming off the clock. 7:20 to go. As the Saints just taking their time again, they're doing another halfback flat out, and a big hit there. Gets sent down to the turf, bring up third down.
Good job on the outside by the junior, Kenneth Borders, to shake off the block. Wrestle the man down. Still going to be a gain of about 6, maybe 5 yards, but as we near past the 7-minute mark, a good job this time by the Saints. Definitely not wanting to give Parish any time left on the clock whenever they get the ball back.
Third down and 4 on the 21-yard line. They're going for the tight end again. That's going to be right at the marker.
And it's going to be Andrew Merrick again on the stop. I think they're going to bring it out to measure. Actually, no, we do have an injured player on the field. And it appears to be...
No, it's a Saints player.
It's actually 2, I believe it might be 2 players. It looks like Merrick is down as well. As both players are being tended to by the training staff.
Well, Merrick going up. He's 6'2" against Mitch Brothwell, who's 6'5". It's good to see Merrick getting up and jogging off under his own power. Bothwell still down over near that Saints sideline, able to get up though. So both players able to get up, and that's good to see. Hopefully it's nothing too serious for either one. As we reset here, 6:26 left in the game. Tied up at 17. You're watching Parish Panthers football, brought to you by Game On Sports Productions. Nick Laupius and Jackson Donovan out here from Fort Worth, Texas in this Week 3 matchup. 4th and about a yard, and they're going for it. Panthers all on their feet here in the stands. And it's going to be a quarterback keeper. Hit hard, and looks like it will be a first. It's going to be close.
I think this late in the game, this is a situation you need to bring the chains out, but they're not going to. They're going to go ahead and just wave it as the first down. But I think in a situation like this, when it's that close, just be safe.
Yeah.
Bring the chains out. Get a good look at it. But nonetheless, they're going to give them the first down.
So they move up to the 18-yard line. 1st and 10, 6 to go. 6 minutes to go. Tied at 17. Big hit in the backfield. Going nowhere, and there was about 2 or 3 white jerseys in to make the stop.
I think it was the big boy. Give it to number 99, Blake Burris, getting in. Busting through the line of scrimmage, able to make the tackle for a loss.
He's been a little quiet tonight just because of the way that the Saints have played offensively. A lot of just quick runs or quick passes hasn't given him time to get into that backfield. And this one back to the 20, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd down coming up.
Good effort that time by Jacob Matlock to get the catch to pick up any yardage. But you're right, it's definitely been a different offense to go against for this Panther defense. They haven't had time to put pressure on the quarterback. Faye has been getting rid of it very quickly. I think that's just a great game plan for head coach Aaron Beck.
Under 5 minutes to go now. 3rd down and 13. Ball on the 19-yard line. Empty backfield. It's going to be a quarterback run. He's got a lot of space down to the 6-yard line. Again, right at the marker.
Interesting play call that time, but it works to perfection. Just spread everyone out, send them to the sideline, and let Fay take it himself, and it works perfectly, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
And get out to the 6-yard line. 4.5 minutes now. There's only been one possession in this fourth quarter, and it belongs to the Saints.
Watch a one-on-one coverage on the outside.
It's a handoff to the outside, picks up about a yard.
Jacob Matlock again getting the carry.
And this drive started on the 35-yard line, by the way, for the Saints.
And it also started at the beginning of the quarter.
Yes. Well, they had one play at the end of the third quarter. But, yeah, they've had the entire fourth quarter starting on the 35, and they are on the 5-yard line right now, trying to take up as much time as possible.
To see a spread offense take over 8 minutes of play clock is absolutely incredible. It's definitely something you don't see in high school football now.
With the keeper gets chopped down at about the 2-yard line and bring up 3rd down and goal. Panthers do have all 3 timeouts, Saints with 2 timeouts.
This is going to be an interesting end to this game. Where I want to know, where was this offense by the Saints throughout this one? If they had played like this game could have looked very, very different.
Play number 16 coming up.
And look, the big man's back out there, number 81. Bothwell is back on the line.
3rd and goal on the 2-yard line. Quarterback keeper, Fay.
I think he's
Close.
short.
He's
no,
short.
I think he's short. They are. He is going to put him at the 1-yard line. I think he dove prematurely just trying to get in, but he came up just short, and that ball bounced before he could get to the line.
Fay with 1 rushing touchdown on the season. He came in with 75 rushing yards on 11 carries. Here we go, 4th
This is
down.
going to be inches.
On the 1. It's a quarterback keeper. He's in. Touchdown, Hemp Fay.
When you've got it at 4th and goal from the 6-inch line, it's almost a foregone conclusion, but it will be a touchdown for the Saints. (23-17).
The kick is up and good. A 17-play, 10-minute, 65-yard touchdown drive. Fay with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. 2:35 to go. 24-17 Saints. Panthers to get the ball back with all 3 timeouts.
This is going to be close. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2.5 minutes left, and the number 1 team in the state is about to get the ball back. Their offense has been rolling, but they had a lot of time on the sideline. Actually, we just had a scoreboard reset. No, never mind.
There we go.
We're good.
So 2 timeouts left for the Saints, all 3 for the Panthers, who have 2:35 to work with to try and knot things up and perhaps send this into overtime. 10 points here in the second half for the offense. Started off the first drive of the second half. They started on their own 35-yard line. 10 plays. A 35-yard field goal was good by Reed Boyster. And then again, a drive started on their own 20. That was a 9-yard touchdown drive to knot things up. And then since then, the Saints have had the ball the rest of the time.
Let's see what the kickoff is going to do, because if this one goes out of bounds again, that's going to be great field possession for the Panthers. This is going to be one of those situations, maybe just pooch it, let it roll, try and go deep with it. And that's exactly what they're going to do.
I'm going to kick it into the end zone for the touchback. Starting at the 25-yard line, Preston Stone and company look to tie things up. All 3 timeouts down by 7, 2:35 to go. Looking to move to 3-0 and hopefully hold on to that number 1 ranking in the state of Texas.
I will say this, if you're Aaron Beck and you're talking to your Saints defense, I don't know if I change too much up. I try and put pressure on Preston Stone. Make him prove that he is better than you. And he is definitely capable of doing that, but I would keep the pressure up. It's worked all game long. I don't see a problem with it now.
First down and 10. Stone scrambling. A flag
on
is thrown. Stone able to escape. Gets past the first down marker. We'll see what the flag is.
Gets rocked a little bit at around the 35-yard line. A late flag like that typically is holding. And that's exactly what it's going to be.
So another error committed from this Panthers team tonight. After what was a good scramble, was going to be a first down for Preston Stone. Instead, we'll be backed up 10.
And lose 10 seconds off the clock.
Which it might be vital tonight because we talked about usually a quick scoring offense. When they've had to take their time tonight in terms of getting down the field and putting some points up on the board.
Backed up to the 15.
First and 20. Stone, plenty of time, is tipped in. Fortunate it wasn't intercepted. Jai Moore, the intended receiver, second down.
Think just trying to force it that time. Tried to go a little bit too hard. Ends up behind the receiver. Luckily not picked off. Ended up bouncing off the shoulder pads of the secondary, guarding Moore. Another 5 seconds, helplessly falling off the clock.
2:20 left now. Still all 3 timeouts. Backed up at their own 15, down by 7.
Prevent defense backing everyone up.
Benson sidesteps, makes the man miss, and keeps going as it takes 4 Navy jerseys to bring him down at the 29-yard line. Brings up third and very manageable on an impressive play by the senior.
Clock still running, hitting 2 minutes now.
I don't think they realized that at first. Took them a little bit, but now they hurry up to the line. Under 2 minutes to go. Here's a handoff up the middle. Got met right at the line of scrimmage. Elijah Pulsari. That's only the second time we've had to call his name, but rocked him hard. 4th down.
Good job that time. Just absolutely manhandling the offensive line.
4th down and 5. 90 seconds left on the clock. They have all 3 timeouts.
Not showing great time awareness now.
Stone looks to the sideline, gets a call, and now a timeout will be called.
They need to change the marker on the sideline. It's showing 3rd down.
A couple of the linemen having a discussion with the referees. Not exactly sure what's that about. As Monaco was there, the senior center is having a word with one of the officials.
Just too much time coming off the clock. This possession has already lasted a minute, and they are just 4 yards farther than where they started.
A minute 21 to go. 2 timeouts now for the Panthers, 2 timeouts each. 4th down and about 5. The scoreboard says 4th down. The marker down on the field says 3rd down.
Big 4th down.
The coaches on the sideline are putting up 3, so I believe it is 3rd down. Stone, again, having a sidestep, looking, able to get through.
Oh, my goodness,
room.
go!
Oh, my
go!
goodness. Preston Stone with some room. He's got blockers all the way to the 30, to the 20, to the 10.
Flag is out. There's a flag. He's gone.
He's into the end zone for the moment.
There is
what a play.
Flag
Preston
is down
Stone.
at the 21.
And based on...
Oh, no. It's going to be against the Panthers. It's okay. We're at a minute 1 remaining here in the 4th.
That will be a hold on the Panthers.
Oh, but a demoralizing hit.
A holding penalty against Parish.
That was a 71-yard run pulled back.
Coach Novikov wants an explanation. 61 seconds on the clock.
If this penalty is called, they will still be in the Saints half of the field. They have a minute left, but all 3 timeouts.
So we'll see where they put the ball.
Should be around the 35-yard line.
And they actually do only have 2 timeouts. They did call a timeout right before that run. So it's put down at the 33, 32. 1st and 10, 61 seconds on the clock.
Time to get loud, Saints.
Both stands are on their feet.
It's a handoff up the middle for Lynch. Tries to cut back. We'll pick up 2, maybe 3.
Quick timeout being called. Good job by Coach Novikov that time. 53 seconds still remaining.
Second down and 7. 53 seconds to go. 1 timeout left. Ball's on the 30, or the...
It's like the 29.
Yeah, 29-yard line. Got to score a touchdown, down 24-17. Looking to improve to 3-0. And looking to cling on to that number 1 spot in the state of Texas in taps. A rough schedule ahead for this Panthers team, and they've had a great matchup tonight against this Saints team. And a lot of movement outside. They're going to call it a false start. I'm not sure about that. It looked like there was some movement in the neutral zone, and they're going to call it a false start against Parish.
Oh, to say you can't have that is the understatement of this game, but we've seen it all night long. The mental errors keep popping up.
So 2nd down and 12. Let's move back to the 34-yard line after the false start penalty. Snap is high. Stone able to recover and gets dragged down at the 39-yard line.
The flag is out. Looks like it's going to be intentional grounding.
If it is intentional grounding, that is a loss of down. Make it 3rd down and long. Currently having to get to the 21-yard line for the 1st down. 46 seconds to go. And the flag is waved off. So it is a sack for Lane, who we've talked about all night long, the 6'1 senior linebacker, number 3, with another sack. 3rd down on the 34-yard line. 46 seconds to go. 1 timeout left. Down by 7. 8th play of the drive. Stone steps back and now looking for some room, is brought down at the 40. And they will use their final timeout.
Only bringing 4 on the rush that time. No excuse for getting the pressure on Stone. Tried to step up in the pocket but had no room. And instead he will get wrapped up for yet another sack. Now back-to-back plays. This is going to be a ridiculous, just about 4th and 18.
The defensive line for the Saints have come to play tonight, has given this offensive line fits. Preston Stone hasn't had a whole ton of time. And you think about the 71-yard touchdown run called back by a holding penalty. Been a lot of missed opportunities tonight on the Panthers side of things. 4th down and, well, like Jackson said, maybe about 18. Here's the ball game, folks. 38 seconds left. 4th down for the Panthers. Lynch in as the running back. Stone rolling out, is going deep. Has
Double
a
coverage.
man.
There is a penalty.
There's
Flag
a flag.
is down. Flag is down.
The flag is down at the 4-yard line.
Another. It'll be against. It looks like it's against the Saints. If this is a pass interference penalty, it's only a 15-yard game, but it is an automatic first down.
So still waiting on the call. Looks like it will be a pass interference call, though.
And that should be an automatic first down. Boy, what a game saver. Just heaping to the end zone.
So first down, you're indeed right. 23-yard line, 29 seconds left, down by 7. It is a pass interference 15-yard penalty against the Saints. So new life for this Panthers team. They're going to run it up the middle with Benson. We'll get about a yard or 2. And there's the final timeout.
I'm not sure if I agree with that call. 23 seconds, not in the red zone yet. I would try and do something quick. Get a slant going across the middle. Try and get you within the 15-yard line. Maybe just try and get something quick out. Get you. I know it's going to probably take you under 20 seconds, maybe around 15. You have to give yourself an opportunity. Save the timeout. Maybe clock it at the line. Lose it down, but maybe save that timeout for when you really need it. Now you're basically putting the pressure on a junior quarterback to have the self-awareness to get all the teammates down at the line, try and clock it, and hope for the best.
So that is the final timeout. Like Jackson said, 23 seconds left. They picked up about a yard. 2nd down from the 22-yard line, 23-yard line.
False start.
And here's a false start penalty. We'll back them up 5.
Reset the clock. Put it back on 23 seconds.
Let 3 seconds go off the clock there. They got to put that back up. I mean, the whistle blew before the ball was even snapped. Still showing 20 on the clock, and Preston Stone.
I think he's noticed. I think he's noticed the clock.
He's talking to him. He said there's 3 seconds that went off the clock, and they are going to reset it now. So the referee is pointing over to the press box on the home side.
24 seconds.
So they get an extra second.
I'll take the minutes, though. We'll keep the 24 minutes.
24 minutes might be too long. 24 seconds now on the clock. So Stone showing the awareness, talking to the referee, gets an extra second on the clock now. 24 seconds.
No timeouts. This is he's definitely going to prove now why he's one of the highest touted recruits out of the 2021 class.
Ball on the 28, first down and 15. Stone going deep to the end zone, has a man, and is incomplete. Double coverage. Jai Moore trying to come back to the ball.
No flags down, just an ill-advised pass. Second time he's tried to go for the end zone in double coverage. That time it just comes up short. You have to put that ball where only your receiver can get it. And at that distance, it's almost impossible to do. Under 20 seconds remaining.
17 on the clock. Third down on the 28. Have to get to the 13. Stone rolling out. Sets his feet. Throws is
Incomplete.
incomplete. Again, it was low.
Rolling to his
So-
weak side. That's a hard pass to make.
Again, here's the ball game, folks. Fourth down. Ball on the 28. They got to get to the 13. 10 seconds on the clock. Can Preston Stone show a little bit of his patented magic here and try and tie things up? Karin Lynchen at the backfield. To the right of Stone. Stone steps back, has some time. Going to the end zone in a double coverage. It is knocked down, and that will do it. 3 seconds left. The Saints will knock off the number 1 team in taps. 24-17.
And that'll break your heart. Giving it all he could, going for the back corner of the end zone. Just good coverage that time by the Saints secondary. Free safety rotating over, able to get in front, nearly had the interception, but will knock it down, and that will be the ball game. Now it's just a formality of kneeing it and letting the clock run out.
So an impressive effort from this Fort Worth team, and Hamp Fay with the win and the upset over the Parish Panthers, who fall to 2-1, and the Saints 3-0, 24-17 your final here from Fort Worth. Jackson, final thoughts.
I am in absolute disbelief. It was a great showing by the defense of the Saints. They came out, they had a tough task in front of them, and they came to fight, and they fought all game long. A lot of props. When you have a spread offense, what you're known to do is score, score, score. That second half, they knew exactly what they needed to do. Going into the fourth quarter, the one thing you don't want to do is give it to Coach Novikov and Preston Stone and let that stellar Panther offense come back and with as much time as they could. They didn't give it to them. They gave them 2.5 minutes with 3 timeouts, and the defense stood strong. I'm very impressed with what I saw from this Saints team coming out here from Fort Worth.
24-17 the final. Panthers fall to 2-1. They'll be back in action next week. Thank you so much for tuning in to Game On Sports Productions presentation of Parish Episcopal Panthers football. Thank you so much for tuning in. For our producer, Fred Garner, for everyone here in the press box getting things going, for Jackson Dunavant, the birthday boy, big number 23, I'm Nick Laupius saying good night from Fort Worth.